welcome to another episode of In the Shop with CustomLowz. It is episode 13. I got a bunch of designs I got to do. The first one is for 3 Lanzer Audio MAP848s. It's sub-up port forward design. It's a simple $10 pick your woofer design. Second design I got is for 2 Sundown Audio X15s. It's a blow through going in a 2016 GMC Sierra 1500. That's a more complicated design. Obviously it's a 4th order and it's a blow through, but it's also in the custom design, so this will take a little more time. Third design I gotta do today, probably got too many designs to do today. 2 Def Bounce Apocalypse SA 312s. It is 2 12-inch sub-up port forward, or sub-up port-up design, center port actually. It's a custom design request. Another design for 2 10-inch Audio Q HD 310s, sub-up port forward, or actually, sorry, sub and port forward. Audio Q, I don't know if any of you are familiar, Sound Cubed is Audio Q. They used to be Audio Q, and then they switched to Sound Cubed. So interesting little design there for some pretty old woofers. Well, not that old, but it's interesting that the woofer is from a company that had a different name that's still around now. And finally, the last design is for an Alpine Type X SWX 10-inch. It's a sub port forward design. That's a simple pick your woofer design. Hopefully I can knock these out pretty quickly. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 designs. I'm probably going to be sitting here for probably 4 hours, but it is what it is. Let's get these done. I'll bring you guys in once I start finishing these designs up. So I got the first design finished up, the 3 Lanzer Audio 8s. You guys can go get that from my website now as a downloadable $5 design. 3/8 design, sub up, port forward, or port back rather. So I call it port forward, but I mean when you kind of like you're opening the trunk, you see the ports forward towards you. Either way, 3/8 design, port forward, has a double baffle. It's tuned to 32 hertz. It's 2.28 cubic feet after all displacement, so that's including subs and port and bracing. So you guys can go check that design out now on my website and order it. I think at this point probably 80 different $5 designs to choose from. So I just finished up another design. This is for Alpine Type X SWX 10. It's a sub forward port forward. So sub forward port forward design. It's 14 inches high, 22 inches wide, 14 inches deep. It is tuned to 33.58 hertz. Call it 34 hertz basically. Standard slot port design. You guys can go pick that up from my website now. I just got it finished up. I'm finishing up the file right now for the customer so I can get it sent to him, and then I'm going to upload it on the website. You guys can get that from the $5 designs. If you guys do need custom designs, you can also get $10 pick your woofer designs and the custom designs also from my website. I keep plugging it. I'll probably stop. That's the last time you'll hear it for this video, I promise. Alright, so we are on to the third design of the day. It is for 2 Audio Q HD 310s. It's a sub port forward design. Simple, easy design on this one. Before I research anything, I'm a little worried that I might have an issue finding the specs on the sub because it's old, and I know SoundCubed changed their name, so I don't know how much info I'm gonna be able to find on it, but hopefully something, or it might have a similar basket, I'm sure. We'll figure that out. SoundCubed must want this Audio Q HD3 to be like forever hidden in existence. I can't find it, any specs. I found like a few old forum posts with some dead pictures, so I can't even really fucking see the basket. I'm gonna go ahead and just assume that it is the same basket. The box should spec around the same regardless, I believe. So I'm not as worried about the box specs as getting him the correct hole cutout, because I also provide the sub specs too for, you know, what size you need to cut the hole out, how deep the sub is, all that stuff. So that's important information, plus the fact that I need to find the displacement. So I guess I'll just have to kind of factor in what a normal sub is, or just go off the HD C3 because the HD3 was apparently like their first run, and they stopped doing them. They took them off their website. The archive doesn't have them. Google Images doesn't have like many pictures at all. In the forums, like all the images are now broken. So I guess I'm gonna go with the HD S3 specs, or HD C3, because I believe that's what replaced it. The HD C3 is what replaced the HD3. If you know, correct me. It'll be too late by that point, but I think either way we'll figure out something that'll work great. 3 designs down, 2 more to go. Just finished up the one for the 2 Audio Q HD 310s. Like I mentioned, couldn't find the specs, so I designed it for the HD C3s. It'll work great for the HD 3s either way. It's tuned to 33 hertz. It's 14 inches high, 30 inches wide, 18 inches deep. If you guys want to pick up this design, you can pick it up on my website in the $5 designs, or you can get your own woofer design for $10. So I've already started on the 4th design. Yeah, 4th design today. It's for 2 Apocalypse DB-SA12s. It's tuned to 33. It's 40 wide, 20 high, 16 deep. It's a subs up, port up design with the center ports. This is a custom design request, so this one would be a little more complex. It's still a ported design, but I like to throw a little extra features in when I do the custom design request ones to make them a little bit better and different than the $5 designs or $10 pick your woofer designs. These obviously, besides being able to pick your sizes and you know, special requesting stuff, I try to put a little extra detail in it, a little extra work in it for the money. So let me get this done, and we got one more to do. Finished up design number 4 for the night. We're gonna call it quits for today on designs. I gotta get to some center console work, but just finished up for 2 Apocalypse DB-SA 312s. Really cool design, center port, got some window bracing in there. Triple baffle to support the heavy subs off of it, obviously. Tuned to 34 hertz, should freaking sound awesome. So you guys can also get that design, like all the other ones I mentioned, on the website. So check those out, and let's get to working on this center console. Alright, so we're going to start cutting this top piece here to accommodate for the opening of our port. So I'm going to take all of these pieces here and cut them right at this line. I figured I would start with this one and basically template the rest off of that top one. So here we go, get 16 pieces cut. Alright, so what I did here was set up a basic, well, I don't want to say basic, it's a miter slide jig. So because I have 16 pieces, I want to make sure every piece is cut the exact same size at the same point. I could be off, you know, by a 16th, well, 32nd, 16th maybe at most, and I could sand that, but anything else is going to be off, and it's going to start throwing the sides of my port off. It's going to turn wavy. So basically I put the piece on here, I have the line that I need the piece cut at, which is right here, and I flip my piece upside down like this. I put it in the jig. Well, I just put it down on the jig at first. Let me see if I can get this in here while I'm trying to video it. All right, so you can see the jig is the pieces in the jig now, and I'll flip this up so you guys can see it. So you see the pencil line of the piece, okay? I basically knew the pencil line. I flipped my original piece over there, screwed it on, and then took these scrap pieces and just put them periodically. Obviously, there's only so many spaces you're gonna be able to go with a shape like this, so I just went with as many as I could. And then I took a piece of scrap ply made to the size of my channel and my table saw, and I just screwed it on there with a straight edge and a combo square. It has a little bit of play because I made this like super quick. I mean, maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes at most. Well, okay, 10, 15 minutes at most. So this does have a tiny bit of play, but what I'm gonna do is when I ride it through, I'll just pull it to the side and cut all my cuts through. You see how there's a little bit of clearance between the blade and the board. That'll allow for the fact that my pencil line is not totally on. There we go, focus on there. It's not totally on the board, so I'm gonna try this first one, see how that goes, and then hopefully I can replicate it with the rest of them. I took the next piece down and it fit in there really good, so get this one cut and we'll see what happens. All right, so that cut went really good actually. You can see where the port is. The cut will line up and create the opening to the port. So gotta get all the rest of these cut. Thankfully this jig worked out pretty well. Well, we'll see. I'll always test a couple of them first before I give full confidence through the whole process though. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, check every one of them until I get to like 5, and then I'll probably feel pretty confident in it. But with the jig, it'd be pretty hard for it to move, really. And I also traced around it so I can see on the piece itself, this here, that my top piece is lined up correctly. But either way, I got 15 more of these to cut, so let's get it done. All right, so I got this top piece cut here. Jig worked awesome, things cut great. All these pieces are pretty even. I have it roughly stacked now, so it does look a little wavy. Now I gotta start figuring out what I wanna do with this back piece. As part of kind of an oversight from the changing up the port design, in my head I kind of imagined an arrow coming out of the top, but I changed that up to a slot port. So I originally finger jointed the top and the back together to make a strong joint. So now I have to kind of change that up because it is no longer built that way. What I'm probably gonna do is basically cut right at this line all the way down, and take all these pieces and cut every one of them at this length. So then it'll kind of change the top, but I'll be able to shape it out with the sander and the grinder afterwards, and it won't hurt dropping it a little bit. There are trim panels going on top of this, so even at this height, that wouldn't be the final height. There's more trim panels added on top of that. Plus, we got the speaker pod going on the back wall anyway, so we can use the room. It's not gonna affect the look all that much at all. If anything, it might turn out even a little better. So we're gonna get this figured out, fixed up, and I'll bring you back when I got it all done. Alright guys, so I'm about to cut these back pieces here, and I basically repurposed the old jig I had, and I'm going to use it to cut these pieces because, again, there are 16 pieces. I want to make sure things are accurately cut, exactly cut. I don't want to have to be doing anything afterwards. So set up a quick jig, very simple, easy to make. I'm gonna start getting these pieces cut up, and then we'll be one step closer. Alright, so as you guys can see, I got these pieces cut. They're nice and even, the jig worked out. I don't know how well you can tell from the time lapse, but I don't think I learned how to get them in quickly until like the 14th fucking piece. I had to literally even get them out, so probably went a little overboard on the alignment points on that thing, especially with how long they are, but it is what it is. Now I'm gonna have to repurpose that same slide jig again, and I want to get these corners chopped off of all these pieces. I probably could, there's probably a lot of ways I could do this, but that's the way I'm gonna do it, so let's get that done. Alright guys, we're gonna leave it here for the night. It has been another great episode of In the Shop with CustomLowz. This is episode 13. Thank you guys so much for all of you who've been watching since episode 1. For all of you guys who are just watching your first episode now, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like this video, drop me a comment below, let me know what you think of my work, let me know what you think of this center console, all the designs we did today, anything. But that is it. If you guys need any car audio gear, speakers, subwoofers, tweeters, horns, amplifiers, subwoofers, I got it all. Wire, anything you guys need, check out my website. All the links are going to be in the description below for everything you guys need to find what you're going to need. Anything you guys are going to need, go check it out there. Also, check out my custom enclosures. I make some of the best custom enclosures you're going to find around, so check those out. And thank you guys again for watching another episode of In the Shop with CustomLowz. This is episode 13. I will see you guys again tomorrow with another great episode.